When we think about our assets, we usually think about money or property or stocks, right? But what if your single most powerful asset, the one that controls everything else, is something you already own? It's your mindset. And believe it or not, there's a battle going on inside your brain right now between two very different ways of thinking.
And this image, well, it pretty much sums up that internal fight. On one side, you've got a mindset that's rooted in scarcity and fear, things like complaining or being afraid of change. And on the other side, it's all about growth and action. Learning from your mistakes, helping other people win. These aren't just little personality quirks. They are two totally different operating systems for your life.
So, this brings us to the big question, right? Which side is winning the battle inside your head? Is your mindset your greatest champion, pushing you forward? Or is it actually your toughest opponent, holding you back? Let's break down the key differences.
All right, first up, let's talk about our relationship with the one thing we can never, ever get more of: time. How you see it and what you do with it is probably the single biggest clue as to which mindset is in the driver's seat. And honestly, it shapes every other decision you're going to make. So the poor mindset is often stuck looking in the rearview mirror, totally anchored to the past. It's that whole good old days vibe, which feels nice, sure, but it can be a real trap. It can blind you to the opportunities that are right in front of you right now. The rich mindset, on the other hand, is planted firmly in the present. It knows that the only place you can actually change anything, build anything, or do anything is right here in this moment. And this directly feeds into how we look at the future. Veering change, well, it's like trying to stop the tide. It's just gonna happen, and fighting it only leads to paralysis. You end up trying to hold on to a present that's already slipping away. The rich mindset sees that same tide coming in, and what does it do? It grabs a surfboard. It leans into the fact that change is inevitable and uses that momentum to take action, shaping its own future instead of getting totally swamped by it. And that really is the bottom line here. A rich mindset uses the past as a library, a place to check out lessons you've learned, but it doesn't live there. It lives right here, in the now, because that's where all the action is. Okay, so if our relationship with time is the foundation, what's built on top of it? It's our approach to growth. This is all about how you deal with learning new things, facing challenges, and yeah, those mistakes that are absolutely going to happen when you try anything worthwhile. Just look at this contrast. It's so clear. It's like a locked door versus an open one. A poor mindset kind of believes that learning is a chore that ends with school, and then the door slams shut. But a rich mindset, it sees life as one giant classroom. It's always curious, always asking questions, because it knows that every new piece of information could be the key that opens the next big door. And that closed door way of thinking, it creates this deep-seated fear of being wrong. So mistakes don't just feel like mistakes. They feel like a personal failure, like a final judgment on who you are. This is what fuels that fear of missing out thing. You're so scared of making the wrong choice that you end up making no choice at all. And that, right there, is the fastest way to get stuck. But the rich mindset, it flips the script completely. A mistake isn't a failure. It's just data. That's it. It's feedback. It's a little signpost that says, hey, that way didn't work. Maybe try this way. Every single error becomes a lesson. And learning from those lessons, well, that's the engine that drives all progress. Okay, so we've looked at how these mindsets affect our inner world, how we see time and growth. Now let's kind of zoom out and see how they color our view of the external world. Our relationships, our money, and just our general outlook on everything. This one is huge. The poor mindset tends to see the world as a zero-sum game. The pie is only so big, right? So if you get a bigger slice, that means there's less for me. And that way of thinking just breeds resentment. The rich mindset, though, comes from a place of abundance. It knows the pie can get bigger for everybody. It actually helps others succeed because it understands that a rising tide lifts all boats. Think about it. Where does your energy go? Complaining is passive. It just focuses on the problem and sucks all the energy out of you. Now, not complaining doesn't mean you ignore problems, not at all. It just means you choose to focus your energy on solutions, on the things you can actually control. It makes you an active player in your own life, not just a spectator. And of course, all of this applies directly to our finances. Your financial mindset is just your core set of beliefs about money. And really, it all boils down to how you look at two simple things: risk and opportunity. The poor mindset is so terrified of losing what little it has that it just clutches onto it. It only sees the risk of planting the seed.
But the rich mindset? It understands that the biggest risk of all is never planting anything. It takes calculated action. It sees investing, whether it's time, skills, or money, not as a gamble, but as the only way to actually grow something for the future.
So after looking at all these comparisons, we land on the single most important idea in all of this, and it's this: none of this is permanent. Your mindset isn't some fixed part of your personality. It's not who you are. It's just a collection of habits and beliefs that you choose, whether you realize it or not, every single day.
And here they all are, laid out side by side, from being stuck in the past versus living in the present, to complaining versus taking action. I mean, when you see it all together like this, the difference is pretty stark, isn't it? One side is reactive and totally driven by fear. The other is proactive and completely driven by growth.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear about something. The words rich and poor here have nothing to do with your bank account. Zero. This is about your actions. You can be flat broke but have a rich mindset, or you could be a millionaire with a poor one. It all comes down to the daily habits, the way you think, and the things you actually do.
And here's the best part of all. You can start building that rich mindset right now. This isn't about some huge, dramatic life makeover. It's about small, consistent steps. Just for today. Focus on today. Try to learn one new thing. Find one way to help somebody else. And take one small, actionable step forward instead of letting fear keep you stuck. These are the simple but powerful building blocks of real change.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget trying to change everything all at once. Just looking at this list, what is the one small choice you can make today to start shifting from that left column over to the right? Because that single choice, that one small step, that's where the entire battle is won.